So hey everyone, Matt here, and welcome back to the channel. And today I am in my brand new 2021 Tesla Model Y. I just picked it up from Charlotte about 2 hours ago, and I'm finally on my way home back to South Carolina. And got some great footage when I was out at the Tesla dealership. I felt like a kid in a candy store. Seeing all the plaids that were there, that of course were already spoken for by people who purchased them. Just a massive amount of inventory. But I did record some footage, which I'll upload later. But this video is more of a kind of a first impressions driving the vehicle. Now that I've actually gotten to drive it for more than 10 minutes. But just from some of the first things I noticed, also I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. Normally I script things out, but I don't have a script because I'm too excited to write anything. Plus I'm driving. But so first thing I noticed compared to my Model 3 is it's smooth. Even though it has the 20-inch wheels compared to my 18s on my Model 3, it is a very smooth ride. Going over speed bumps, like the suspension on this car is just fantastic compared to the Model 3. The Model 3 is still great, don't get me wrong, but this car it's something else. I love being higher off the ground. Just getting into the vehicle is much easier. The Model 3, getting in and out, it feels like kind of like a sports car. I kind of got to duck down just to get in that car. Not terrible, but if you're maybe a little bit older and have back problems, maybe the Model 3 isn't for you. This car is where it's for you. Because, like I said, this car, it's amazing. My long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3 has like a 5-second 0 to 60. That's what Tesla's website says. This one's only 4.8, like, so 0.2 faster, but man, you feel it. Like I hit the go pedal and this thing books it. And considering the size of this vehicle, it's amazing. The delivery process at Charlotte was absolutely amazing. I showed up, checked in. 10 minutes later, delivery advisor showed up. I signed the one piece of paperwork to leave the dealership, and that was it. Everything else is online in terms of like all your paperwork, insurance, financing, everything is all online. I went with the white exterior with the white interior, as you can see, which looks great, by the way. Like, just makes the cabin look so much bigger. And I got the 20-inch black induction wheels. My buddy Race already nicknamed it the Stormtrooper. That's kind of what it looks like. So, but moving on to other first impressions, I guess we'll go back to the delivery. Checked out the car, looked it over, and in my opinion, the car was flawless. I don't see any problems with the car at all. It was a little dirty, like it kind of sat under a tree, so there was a little sap on it. So I definitely plan to run it, get a wash, or go wash the car as soon as I get home, just so that doesn't stay on there. But like, honestly, I couldn't be happier with this car. It's great. If you're looking for like an SUV, but not like something that will still fit in your garage, but something a little bit larger, like a nice crossover, like this is a great car. So far I have nothing bad to say about it. I was a bit worried that it might be extremely different compared to my Model 3 in terms of like handling and like the regen braking. Because I don't know, I've driven that car for over 40,000 miles, so I'm very used to how it handles. But honestly, other than I'm higher off the ground and this car's a little bit quicker, this feels like the same car. Like going from the 3 to the Y is very seamless. It was a very seamless transition. Overall, I'm super impressed with it. Calibrating the autopilot was super quick as well. That was in like 20 minutes, so maybe like 15 miles, and roughly you have calibrated autopilot ready to go. This is a 2021, so it does come with the bioweapon defense mode, which I tried that out as I was leaving the supercharger on the way back home. I don't really know that I didn't really hear a difference at all in the air conditioning. Like the air conditioning just kind of got a little bit louder, but I could still have a normal conversation in the car. But apparently, like this thing has a Hepa filter. I wasn't able to see it because the cover's on it, but it does have a Hepa filter, so the bioweapon defense mode can work and keep all the particles out of the vehicle. I know that would especially be good for like California. They've had a lot of wildfires, so that's where that would definitely come in handy. So looking over the car, sat in the back seat. Lots of legroom in this car. Yes, the only thing I have to compare this to is to my Model 3, so I haven't owned any other vehicles in a while, so sorry that this is all I had to compare it to. But if, like I said, if you're looking for something along a larger like SUV type vehicle, like this is the way to go. I can't convey just how happy I am to have this damn car. I placed the order for it mid-June, and I just picked up today, so 26 August, and so about 10 weeks. I know Tesla's website promised 4 to 8, but which, me living on the East Coast, I knew it was going to be definitely 8, and then of course, with the end of the quarter push, everyone in California was getting their cars super fast. I know there was a huge shipment of Model Ys overseas to Europe, which congrats to everyone in Europe picking up your Model Ys. So I know that must be a great feeling, taking delivery of your car. I can't show you now, but this vehicle also has it's got the updated center console. But say really, everything's pretty similar to the Model 3. It's got the white cover instead of wood. Not really a big fan of that. That might be my only complaint. It's basically just kind of feels like, I can't tell if it's metal maybe. Actually, this actually might be metal. I swore I've touched these before, so to speak, and it was like plastic. But this actually, it's cold to the touch. Well, actually, might be because of the air conditioning. I'm dumb, but overall, yeah, the white piece of plastic, metal, whatever it's made, I'm not a big fan of that. But it is more durable than the wood. I'll give you that. It's super simple to clean off. But the wood, the piece of wood grain that I have in my Model 3, if say someone details your car and stains that with something they shouldn't, like that wood is done. There's nothing you can do about it other than maybe wrap it or replace it. But it is what it is. The white interior as a whole is great. I plan to ceramic coat it because I've heard horror stories of this black seatbelt staining people's white leather seats. My buddy Race has white interior in his Model 3, and it's a permanent stain that Tesla acknowledges it. They know it's an issue, but they don't have a fix for it yet. Kind of odd. Maybe I'd say do white seatbelts. Maybe that would fix that. But then the seatbelt would probably get kind of dirty. But I don't know. But overall, great car. I would highly recommend it to anybody. If you're in the Tesla market, like, man, go check one out. The dealership, they kind of eased the COVID restrictions, so test drives are a thing now. They actually have cars in the showroom that you can actually sit in. So yeah, and there's the sales associates are there to answer any of your questions. They're super nice about it. And if you have any other questions, like I know, like simple like charging questions, like if you have any questions about this car or anything Tesla related, just drop it in the comments below, and I'll definitely answer as soon as I can. I've owned Teslas for 2.5 years, so I'm pretty accustomed to how they work and how great they are. Also, I'm noticing behind me this beautiful solid piece of glass, which in the Model 3 it's a solid piece of glass as well, but there's this huge roll bar that goes across it, but now they've eliminated that. Probably the main reason is because this car during crash testing is literally impossible to flip. They tried their hardest, and with the battery being so heavy on the bottom, the center of gravity is so low that this car would not flip. This is definitely, the Teslas are the safest automobile in America, hands down. And if you're curious about the cargo space too, I'm going to upload another more in-depth video. This is kind of more of a first impressions. I'm super stoked drive home video, just to provide some input on it. But yeah, the overall experience, man, Tesla delivery experiences are always, it's fan. This one was definitely way above my last one. The last one sucked. Check out one of my previous videos and then kind of go into more detail about that. But overall, the delivery experience was great. And now that Tesla has their brand new their app, their interface, you can now own multiple or have multiple Teslas in your app and not have to switch back and forth between the two. First world problems, I know, but for those of you that own multiple Teslas, you can kind of rejoice at that one. Other things I've noticed, this vehicle also does have the metal scroll wheels as well. I know a lot of people have been complaining that their rubber ones kind of wear. After 44,000 miles, mine looks still brand new. I haven't had an issue with wearing, but the metal, it feels nice to the touch, feels solid. I do like that they got rid of the piano black gloss. not only in the center console, but on the like the windows and the door locks as well. Because man, that is annoying, especially because it's so gross and it gets so scratched and dusty. It doesn't look good to me. So finally that they got rid of that. Good on you, Tesla. Also a huge fan of the new wireless charging pad. For any of you with older Teslas like my Model 3, I had to buy a wireless charging pad and install it myself. Some of the newer models, they came with wireless charging pads, but it had the cover that went over the phone, like the phone. But if you have like a decent size, like an okay size phone with a case, you can't close the lid at all. But with this, they decided to just go with looks like a black Alcantara wireless charging pad. Like I said, presentation looks great, charges the phone just fine. It fits good sized phones. I've seen people, I have an iPhone 12 Pro, which is what I'm recording on now. I've seen people with 12 like max size iPhones, Samsung Galaxy S21s, Notes, and they fit in the wireless charging pad just fine. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the car did come with floor mats, but I decided to just purchase my own from Tasmanian. I'm not sure how I feel about them yet. Overall, they look good. My other car has 3D Max Spiders, which I love those to death. Those are amazing. So these are good too. I'm always about the all-weather floor mats. I'm not sure how Tesla if they've re-engineered their floor mats or not, because the biggest complaints I've heard is that even after like a couple thousand miles, you start to see like wear in the floor mat, to where it's like there's like a hole in the bottom, like in the floor mat after a couple thousand miles. That's a little ridiculous. But I'm not a big fan of carpeted floor mats because, you know, sand everywhere and I gotta vacuum that and it just looks tacky in my opinion. They're just kind of hanging out under the Tasmanian floor mats. I was able to purchase them on their website. They even had an offer. I don't remember what it is, but I don't know if you go on their website and they might still have the code. I got like 10% off. So overall, I think it was like $210, $215, which includes the full front floor mats, the rear. There's one also in the trunk, a full floor mat for the trunk, and there's also one for the rear, like lift up, and there's also a mat in the front as well. So overall, that's pretty good deal for a little over $200. Did notice that the front is a lot larger in this car. It's a Model Y. It's a bigger vehicle. It's what I expected. So this car comes with double pane glass, only on the driver and the passenger side, not in the rear passengers. I'm not sure if that's the overall cause of the car being quieter. That's something I've noticed, that this car is a lot quieter. I think also too because it's higher off the ground, so less road noise. Like even with the bigger rims, this car is a lot quieter. Like I'm just talking to you in a normal voice, and there's road noise. Obviously, you can't stop that, but I think it's a lot quieter. I won't officially know. I need some sort of like maybe a decibel meter. I think there's a free app on the Apple Store for like a decibel meter. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but I'll give it a try. I'll do a future video on that, as long as I'm selling the Model 3, so I don't know how much longer I'll have it. So I'll try to push out as many videos as I can, just a comparison. If you're in the market for like a 3 or a Y, you just don't know which one to get, I'll try to help you on that journey to purchase maybe your first Tesla. So overall though, I'm gonna get back to driving. The car's been doing it for me, which is great. But if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking forward to future content, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. I think now as it sits, I got 22 of you, which I appreciate all 22 of you. But as time goes on, hopefully pick up some more subscribers. And overall, just kind of looking forward to when the Tesla Cybertruck comes out. Hopefully I'll get that next year. And whenever Elon releases the full self-driving beta for everyone, which in theory should be in a month. So as soon as that gets released, I'll subscribe to that for a little bit, and I'll do some full self-driving videos as well. But yeah, subscribe to my channel, but that's all I got. See ya!